everyone.
What's up guys, Unofficial MCU here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we are going to be discussing how the Secret Invasion finale set up 2 upcoming MCU movies, confirms the director recently. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hop right on into it. In this video we are going to be taking a read from the director's article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. As a read, Secret Invasion director Ali Salem has re-emphasized that the Disney Plus series Secret Invasion set up 2 future Marvel Studios movies. Now this isn't necessarily the first time that we've discussed this here on the channel. We all know, I think, that Secret Invasion has to do a lot with setting up the future of the MCU. Whether you liked it or not, Secret Invasion is a very prominent point for the MCU in setting up the future of the overall MCU, but 2 specific movies being Don Cheadle's Armored Wars movie and the Marvels, Captain Marvel 2, that will be coming out a little bit later this year. Don Cheadle's Armored Wars movie is set to come out sometime next year, maybe even 2025, but is finally a movie, a project, a part of the MCU that focuses and circulates completely on James Rhodey finally. All we really know about the Armored Wars movie is that it's about Rhodey trying to stop his technology falling into the wrong hands, presumably probably Skrulls. But the Secret Invasion has a lot more to do with setting up everything that we're going to see with that movie. It was initially originally announced actually as a Disney Plus show, but it since then has now shifted over to becoming a movie, which has been very much of a favor of many fans, have been wanting it to be a movie instead of a show. The overall finale of Disney Plus's Secret Invasion gave fans plenty of answers, but also set up a lot of future projects, possibly the demise of the show's quality, as many fans have described it to, and its overall narrative to have been all over the place and nothing was very centric. I think that was for good reason in setting up many of the future projects for the MCU. I don't necessarily that it took away from Secret Invasion and its overall narrative or plot either though, however, but that's my own opinion. You guys can check out my review videos on Secret Invasion here on the channel now. Secret Invasion is one of the worst reviewed projects ever within the MCU, but much like other projects within the cinematic universe, there's always another story on the horizon. During a recent interview with Screen Rant, Secret Invasion director Ali Salem discussed the requirements he was given to set up in the MCU, specifically with Secret Invasion, of course. In particular, he was told to make sure that Rhodey's legs don't work for Armored Wars, as he said that in quote, "I was given some requirements for the next movie. You have to put Nick Fury back up in space for the next beat, and you also have to make sure that Rhodey's legs don't work for Armored Wars." Ending that quote right there. This is actually something that we have heard and that we have actually talked about here on the channel previously before. Armored Wars was previously set to be a Disney Plus series, as I had mentioned, before being upgraded to a theatrical released film starring Don Cheadle's War Machine. In an interview with Comic Book, the director Salem had mentioned that the idea that some of the questions about when James Rhodey was replaced with a Skrull could be answered in Armored Wars, another thing that we did discuss here on the channel. The other MCU movie that Ali Salem has teased as a direct connection from Secret Invasion is, of course, the Captain Marvel 2 sequel, The Marvels. Many fans assume this connection with the premise of Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury being featured in the Marvels trailers. Ali Salem mentioned in an interview with Entertainment Weekly that his job is to tell this story, Secret Invasion, within this box, but he felt that they did a pretty good job of launching Nick Fury into the Marvels and setting things up for that. As he said that, in quote, "I mean, my job is to tell this story within this box, within these 6 episodes. I do my best not to confuse myself or the audience with things outside the box, but there are also moments where Nick Fury needs to end up here, so the next film he is in, and it works. I think we did a pretty good job of launching Nick Fury." Ending that quote right there, not just into where we're going to see him next in the next MCU movie for the Marvels, but also like kind of changing his character and bringing back that old badass Nick Fury, of course. Before having been delayed to November 10th of this year, the Marvels previously was set to release on July 28th, about a month ago now, just 2 days after the Secret Invasion finale was released on the streaming service, so it would have been very closely cut. When asked by The Hollywood Reporter, Ali Salem confirmed that there is a conversation regarding where certain characters need to end up by the end of Secret Invasion. The director had mentioned that they write into that, and that those universe-connecting decisions are all above his pay grade, as he said that, in quote, "The answer is yes, but they're not protracted conversations. It's just simply, where do you need him? You need him here? Great. And then we'll write him into that. So that kind of stuff is very simple because it's all above my pay grade. Ending that quote right there, honestly, Ali Salam, that sounds a little bit lazy, of course. You should always go above and beyond for one thing, and especially when you're working with such a huge franchise that a lot of people care about, but he was very blunt with his response and answer to that. This here all being said, does Marvel have a cinematic universe problem is what some people may be kind of questioning here at this point. The MCU is getting bigger and bigger, of course, as we all know. Maybe a little bit too big, and maybe Marvel Studios is taking off more than they can chew. Previously, before Infinity War, many of the Marvel projects didn't have so many different directors or writers going on with these overall projects, so it was a lot easier to kind of contain. And I really believe that they should kind of resort maybe back to that to a point, because this is where many fans are coming in and are saying that they're a little bit worried about the future of the MCU, feeling a little bit more discombobulated and disconnected when you're trying to connect many of these characters, as it's one big cinematic universe, of course. Phase 5 is off to a rocky start in terms of setting the stage for an evidential two-part Avengers story through Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania star Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. The antagonist is set up as the biggest and the baddest of the entire multiverse saga, pretty much the new Thanos. Even before the arrest and legal troubles of the actor Jonathan Majors being Kang, people were left with mixed feelings about Ant-Man 3, many complaining of the fact that it felt like more of a setup for future films than telling its own story, and I think that Secret Invasion may fall underneath that category. While James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is a beautiful and perfect example of being a part of the larger universe and actually telling that story, focusing on its own story and characters, Secret Invasion felt reliant on being within the MCU and much rather being a part for setting things up in the future than telling its own story. The Marvels and Armored Wars could end up being fantastic films, and I very much think that they will be, but will Secret Invasion be retroactively enhanced because of them? No matter the answer, it won't really matter, I think, at that. This overall connective tissue of the MCU has always been something that drew audiences in, but is there a chance that it's becoming more of a crutch rather than a strength? This year all being said, I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial MCU, and I really appreciate you guys for checking out the channel, and especially if you watched up until this point of the video. That means the absolute world to me. As I had mentioned, I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about Secret Invasion and how it will set up the future of the MCU, specifically with the Marvels movie and the Armored Wars movie? I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking in the comment section down below, guys. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial MCU. Have a great one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.